Welcome back everyone. This is a video that you guys have asked for a while. After I aired my video with the issue I was having with this Logitech G29, where the steering wheel was rocking so much, a lot, back and forth. This steering wheel has a lot of play. Let me turn it like this a little. Just turn it around. The thing is, it's not just the steering wheel. It's not just the steering wheel as in here. It's the entire shaft that's rocking. This entire shaft has movement. If I was to hold it down, I'm pretty sure you guys can see that. If you look carefully, you'll see that the shaft is actually moving, not just the steering wheel. So we're gonna deal with that right now. Now, to speed up the process, I've already taken out a couple screws. First thing we're gonna do is take out these 6 screws. In fact, before we do that, that's second. The first thing we're gonna do is actually flip the wheel around. On its face. Let me see if you guys can see this. Now give me 1 second. I'm gonna get another light. See if I can point this out to you guys. There's a screw hole here. There is one behind. So all you're gonna be doing is basically rotating your steering wheel and taking out the screws. There's another one here. There's another one by the paddle shifter here. So just take out those screws. I've already done that to speed up the process. So right now, in fact, I only have 2 more to take out actually. I left these 2 because these 2 are actually holding these 2 buttons here. The R3 button and the L3 button, there are screws behind them. So you gotta take those out. So you're gonna do that now. Rotate it this way. Lots more space. See, there's a screw right behind there. So we're gonna take that screw out. I know now during this process I'm gonna be blocking you a little bit, but I'll show you what you need to see. Okay, there we go. One screw's already out. Let me get a magnetic screwdriver so I can get it out of there. Alright, there we have it. In hand. Put that aside carefully. Trust me, you're gonna need it. So you're gonna put that aside. And let's get the other one out. Rotate your wheel. See if you guys can see that. Okay, I know the lighting isn't perfect, but we're gonna make do. I don't really have professional lighting as such because this is not something I do very often. But we're gonna work with what we have. Okay, let me try and get this out here. Okay, good. Just dropped out. Let's get that screw out of there. Good. Now with those screws out, we are gonna focus now on getting the steering wheel off. Gonna take our Allen key. Already took three out already. So just to take these 3 remaining ones out. Try and turn it like this so that way you might get to see it a little better. Maybe. Okay, this is the last one now. Okay, we're gonna take this cap off. Put that aside. And the steering wheel should come off pretty easily. Now, be careful when you're taking the steering wheel off, because this is going to be connected to the circuit board, which is here. It will be plugged in when you're taking it out for the first time. Now, as you can see, I took this out already because I had to see if I could fix it in the first place. And now that when I saw the problem, I decided to make a video to show you guys what was the issue, as I promised. So when you're taking it off for the first time, remember, just be careful. You don't want to damage this. So you put the steering wheel aside. Let's rest that over there. Okay, now you guys need to see down here. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay, down in here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. You're looking to take out the 3 main screws, and you can tell them they're the 3 biggest screws. These two, there are two smaller screws here, 2 smaller screws here. Those are for the paddles, the paddle shifters. These 3 main screws, the bigger screws, you're gonna need to take these out, which is what we're gonna do now. Now this will take a little time because these screws are pretty long and they are threaded into the plastic itself. So just be patient. Take your time and be very careful when you're reinstalling it, because you don't want to cross thread the plastic. Okay, one's out. At this point I would have been using power tools, but it's actually about after 2 in the morning. So I don't want to make any noise. I don't want to wake up the family. I chose this time because, you know, it's pretty quiet. You know, the house is pretty cool this hour of the night, or this hour of the morning. Okay, this is the last one. Okay. Okay, now with all those screws out, we're gonna take this off. Carefully pull it out. Be careful, don't just yank it, because you gotta angle this to get it through the hole. You have to be careful. Okay, good. And there we go. This is what it looks like. Very simple. This is a paddle. Let's put that aside. Now this is our main focus. Now that we have that off, this is our shaft. And yes, I don't know if you guys could hear that. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see if we can give it a little angle. But the shaft itself is moving. I'll try to hold this down. The actual shaft has movement, and that is what we're gonna need to fix. Oh, by the way, the knob for the right side was broken. I did not break it. I don't know what, like I said in the video, this was bolted up to the rig. One day I just sat down in the rig after about 2 days without even using the rig. I was just sitting in the seat and saw something just fly up in the air, and this is what came back down. It was the knob, and this broke in 3 pieces all by itself. Don't know what the heck that's about, but I don't know. Probably over tightening it, but the thing is, I had to tighten it as tight as possible because, well, as I usually do. Even my G27 is tightened as tight as possible in my other rig. But I'll have to get a replacement. I'll probably stick it back for the time. Anyway, that's mine right now. That's not our focus right now. So right now, the next step for us is more screws. Now you don't really have to interfere with this. The screws that you want to get at, do not unscrew the black ones. Leave those alone. These two, not to be touched. In fact, you can double check it and make sure that they are strong, they are tight, because this is to be tight. This is not supposed to be slack whatsoever. Good. The screws that we want is, let me see, make sure you're in the camera. Right, the screws that we want is here, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, to save some time, I also took some of those screws out already too. So, let me get my other screwdriver. I just left 4. I just left 4 in there to keep the case closed. So let's get it back out. These are what they look like. They are little silver screws or chrome colored screws, probably zinc plated, who knows, but those are the ones you want, not the black ones. So you're leaving the black ones and you're taking out the silver ones. And like I said, be careful, because these things are all threaded into plastic. There's no metal threaded into metal here. These are screws that soft tapping screws that are actually threaded into the actual plastic. So you don't want to strip the threading in the plastic. That would not be too nice. Now, when I bought this particular wheel, this G29, it was to replace my G27. My G27 is still working perfect like the first day I got it, but this one actually came with a little movement in the beginning, and it just got worse over time. So I guess I just reached to the point now where we need to fix it. Carefully lift it off, as you can see. Those were the screws. Those were the areas for the screws, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 up in front. Then you got these in the back and 2 to the sides. So 8 screws, and you got this off. No problems. This is what it looks like. This is what the C-clamp looks like on the inside. Let me see if I can give you a better shot of this. There is one. So if we get it in the light. So you see, this is what it looks like. Spring action to lock it down. Spring action to pull it back up. On the other side, my C-clamp is perfectly fine. There it is. The C-clamp is perfectly fine. It's just the screw. The screw broke for whatever reason. Anyway, we are here to deal with this moving shaft, and it's very simple. If I turn it up this way, hope you guys can see that. These two screws, there are two screws here, two screws actually to the end of the circuit board. Let me point this out. You got these two black ones. Then there's 4 on the circuit board. I have no reason to interfere with the circuit board. My movement is actually right here. Those two screws are slack, and that's what's making the movement on the entire shaft. The entire shaft. Now I know this is going to be really tough to see, so you gotta just take my word for it. You see, the screws are already, watch, the screws are already turning all on its own. That's how slack they are. They're very slack. These have to be left alone. There are 2 under there. Now if those 2 are slack as well, you're gonna have to take the circuit board off. Once these two are tight, you have no problems. It is very likely that those same 2 screws probably run slack in yours as well. Okay. Now this is how. Can you hear this? That is the noise I was hearing when I was shaking my steering wheel, and that is really annoying. So now I'm gonna take this particular screwdriver, which fits these screws really tight, and I'm gonna just tighten these down. Now, if you want, you can use some Loctite on this. I guess that'd be a really good idea. But I actually don't have any, so I'll just tighten it down really tight. I'm not really worried because this is actually metal into metal. Finally we see some metal. Okay, good. And let's see, and that should actually be it. Yeah, I believe that's it. I think the only little rock I'm hearing is actually this moving against the table. Let me try that again, just to make sure. Yep, that's it. All fixed already. So these 2 screws with the culprits, they're right on top of the shaft. So when you try to move it, the whole shaft this whole thing was flexing and just rocking back and forth. Now everything seems to be okay so far. Let's center the steering wheel back. This will be center. This would be all right. So let's turn it back. This will be center. So I know when I install my wheel, this is centered. The wheel will be on top. So as you guys can see, it's a really easy fix. Just remember, be careful. You don't want to damage anything on the circuit board whatsoever. No, like I said, this was my problem. If you still have a little flex, check it. As you have this, just hold it down, rock it with yourself. I am not seeing any more movement whatsoever, so I should be okay. If you have any movement in the back, you will just have to take off these 2 screws. These 2 screws. Lift the circuit board out and shift it a little, and tighten the 2 screws in the back, and you're okay, and you should be done. No, it's just a matter of putting this back together, which is pretty easy. It's just a matter of reversing the whole process. Stick the wire through. Let's try and get this in. I'm trying my best not to make too much noise because like I said, it's really late right now. Okay, Okay, let's get some screws in here quickly and get this thing buttoned up as fast as possible. There we go. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was my clock. It's now 2:30 in the morning. But let's get this buttoned up. Okay. I'm not going to bore you guys with putting in all 8 of these screws. At least I don't think so. Unless you guys have been a little bad, but I'm only joking, by the way. But let me at least get 4 screws in here to keep this base together so it would not open up. Remember, don't over tighten these because these screws are actually going into plastic and you don't want to strip it, but then it will be doing nothing at all, and that will be really bad. That'll be worse than a slightly slack screw. Okay, well, seeing that we are going kind of fast, I think I'll just finish up by putting in this as well. No, I would not advise using power tools for this part because you're gonna strip this so quick you wouldn't even know what happened. This way I can tell, by using my hand I can tell just how tight it's getting so that I won't over tighten. It's been a long time since I used this wheel actually, because as you guys know, I use my FANATEC. I'm basically all out FANATEC right now, and my other rig, the smaller rig, actually has a G27 on it right now, which was my first wheel my first good wheel, I should say, that I ever owned. My first force feedback wheel I ever owned, and it's going really good still. Okay, great. So we got all the screws in the bottom here tightened up. I'm gonna flip this thing over. And we're going to reinsert this. If you can't remember the orientation, just remember you already put this. Let's double check. Yep, I'm fully locked to the right. This thing will normally be this way, so we just keep on marking that. Now it's up, and we got to bring it back 1 turn, so that's the center. Make sure there's no twist on the wire. You're going to fit this through. Feed it through the hole there. Put this back on. This could only go on one way, so don't worry about it. There's no way to put this one wrong or back to front. You're gonna tighten these guys back. Now. I'm not looking forward to this right now because these guys are long. Anyway, be careful how you put in these 3 screws because you do not want to cross thread these screws. What I do is to actually go backwards as if I'm taking it out, and I usually hear a click when the threads slip, and then make sure it's aligned. Right now it's perfectly aligned there, so I'm going to put it in. Let me get the other 2 started as well. Even if I was to use a power tool here, I would use it just to send it in, but I won't tighten it with the power tool. I'll tighten it by hand. And again, second one going in. Now, as I said, these screws are screwing into plastic, so don't go too crazy. But they can take some pretty fair amount of torque. Can take a fair amount of torque because it's pretty strong. Now with this screw feels it. Let me just double check. I find like this screw is feeling a little weird. I don't know if it's probably because I pulled. Let me see. Probably because this was a little tight. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. So we're gonna go in now. We're going straight in. And my hand is getting tired now because the screw is getting pretty stiff at this point. But we need to tighten these, guys, because you don't, if these three are slack, your steering wheel will still be rocking, and you don't want that at all. Okay, we're getting there. Last one. Okay, let me feel this a little bit now. Pretty strong, pretty tight, pretty tight. And the last one still has a little. Okay, I like to finish all these screws like this with this particular screwdriver because it just grips differently. Oh yeah, these guys could take a, like I said, it could take a fair amount of torque because they're so, the thread is so coarse and the screw is so long. Okay, so obviously you should not have any rocking at all, but perfectly well and fine. Now back on with the steering wheel. Now this time around, you didn't see me do this in the beginning because I had it off already, but this time around I'm going to be clipping it back in. Let me just check the orientation. Okay, I was just checking the orientation of the wire. Now, like I said, guys, be careful with this. You do not want to damage this at all. That will be bad. Okay, I think I'm totally in. Let's see. Now remember, the steering wheel is, the shaft is perfectly straight, so my steering wheel is perfectly straight. Let's see. Yes, the switches are all perfectly aligned. So we're gonna cap this back off now. Get your cover. And you start your screws by hand. Like again I said, don't cross thread these guys. I'm gonna have to order a replacement screw for the other dude. Okay, this one is feeling a little funny, and I know I took it out perfectly fine, so just gotta double check. Alright, perfectly. Got it. Just be patient. Don't rush it, because like I said, you don't wanna cross thread these screws, because as you can see, it's basically just these screws screwing into plastic. That's taking all that pressure from your driving, so let's be careful. Now you can go cross pattern, which is the recommended way. Like I did this one first, then this one, and this one like a triangle. Now you can go top, and this one, and the last one. As you can see, it's not a very long process. Let's take your time. Just to make this a little pull, a little bit. These don't have to be over tightened. Last one. Let me see what screws I have remain here in my little bowl of screws. Okay, I got 6 screws remain. That's for the back of the steering wheel, and of course the 2 really tiny ones that came out of the R3 and L3 buttons. So let's replace that now. You replace it, put the L3 button back in place. You can hold it in place, of course. Let's flip her upside down. And let me try to get that really tiny screw into there. And secure this. Now be careful if you guys don't have a magnetic screwdriver. Just be really careful, because right now this isn't a magnetic screwdriver, so this might be a pain. Okay, I got it aligned. Just screw it in. Just be careful. And again, of course, this is going into plastic, so don't overdo it. That's a little thing. You turn this around a little to the other side. In fact, where is that button? Okay, here it goes. Easy. Okay. Be careful not to lose these screws, because they are really tiny. Particularly those 2 for the buttons that goes behind the buttons. They are really tiny, so don't lose them. It will not be fun. Alright, great. Now the only screws remain to install at this point are the ones that I took out from before that you guys didn't see, which is here. But be careful, they're kind of pain to get out and in sometimes. And again, I must tell you, this is going into plastic, so be careful. Don't strip it. Let me see. Yeah, one goes here as well. As you can see, this one is really close to the body, so just be careful. Alright, let's double check with this extra long one. Let's go around again. Got 4 more to install. Let me see. Yep, there are 2 right here, which is what, above your paddles. Let's go one right here. Another one pretty close to it, which is right here. I know you guys will hardly see this, but you will see it when you turn your steering wheel upside down. You will see that it should be pretty obvious where these screws go, or where they came out from, or where you gotta take them out from, because they are the only screws behind here. Let's go again. 2 more. Well, actually these are the last 2. And the other paddle. Okay, that one is tight. And the last one, this one will be a little easier because it's further away from your body. And okay, let's just double check. Make sure everybody's tight. Come on. Get down in there, big boy. This one. Okay. Okay, good. No, get it in. He's tight. He's tight. You know something? Let's give it a noise. Ah, great. Just want to make sure it fits properly. Tight. Tight. Great. So, same here. Tight. Let me get behind this one. This is a weird position. This one was needed a little tighten, so great. I think the next one should be on the opposite side. Oh, right here. Good. Everyone's tight. And that's it. Well, of course I gotta get a screw for this, but don't worry about that. Now, the actual rock, the shaft rock is gone. Now, of course, there will be a little play. Even if you pull your steering wheel, I'm pretty sure you're going to have a slight play on your steering wheel because these steering wheels are just basically a little metal. This metal is actually thinner than the G27, and of course it's in the plastic, so it won't be exactly 100% rock solid, but the wheel is pretty. And notice the wheel, the noise is gone. And there we go. She's ready for action again. Now, the first two screws are behind here. There's one here behind this, one behind this. That's two. One behind here. That's three. And two behind here. That'll be 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe so. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, this was the repair video for the G29. I hope this helps you guys a little bit. Probably help you to probably fix yours and get that movement out of yours if you have the same issue. But and stay tuned to the channel, because I've been approached by a company that makes mods for the Logitech G25, G27, G29. So we're gonna see what they send to review, and we'll take it from there. I know they also make replacements for this as well, so maybe I'll get a replacement from them, or maybe I might just order original. I don't know. We'll see. As you guys know, I don't really use this wheel anymore, but I like my things to be in perfect condition. As you can see, I even have to put the plastic on the the center capsule. I know, a little ridiculous, but that's how I move. So everything works perfect again. The wheel feels good. No rocking, no knocking, no shaft movement. And we're in order again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Probably even share the video to help someone else. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. All over. just totally nuts. But we still got some competition.
Alright.